With just 34 games under his belt, the Spaniard's time at the Bernabéu has come to an abrupt end. But given that's only the 8th shortest tenure of Florentino Pérez's presidency, it should perhaps be no surprise at all. It is easy to comprehend why Xabi Alonso, relieved of his duties on Monday, was under so pressure at Real Madrid. Real have been crowned European champions 15 times, are the biggest club in the world, boast a magnificent, expanded stadium, and have superstars like Kylian Mbappé, Jude Bellingham, and Vinicius Junior in a squad valued at more than £1 billion, $1.3 billion. No wonder their fans get frustrated when Real lose their tactical and emotional discipline, inexplicably have players sent off and lose to mid-table Celta Vigo like they did in December and fail to overcome rivals Barcelona for a 5th time in 6 meetings, this time with the Spanish Super Cup on the line. Patience is not a word that exists in the Bernabéu. Real Madrid are a great football club and an even bigger soap opera, a sort of home and ole. Their fans are criticized at behaving in an entitled fashion, and there is undeniably an arrogance to many Madridistas. They would counter that they have a lot to be arrogant about. Look at the trophies in the museum. Listen to the confident rhetoric on the Calle de Marceliano Santa Maria, which heaves with Real fans before games at the Bernabéu 50 yards away. The road is packed, impassable by car, and difficult for any pedestrian. It's a throng of thousands, some clutching cans of Mahou, others holding flares. Fans wave replicas of the European Cup, swirling the pyro smoke. 90 minutes before kickoff, they head to the top of the road, turn right, and swell the numbers already gathering at the roundabout by the Bernabéu. Luxury coaches carrying the squad swoop by, led by outriders, sirens flashing, and police horses keeping the fans back. Gareth Bale, the flying Welshman who once graced Real's wing, would sit by the window on the bus, watching the scenes, feeding on the adrenaline flowing from the fans. When you're in among the Real crowd, you sense the power of the support, the passion, and the constant craving for success. Alonso's job was to meet that demand. He began the season confidently, being awarded Manager of the Month for August in La Liga, but the 44-year-old was quickly fighting for his job. Real have historically had very high standards. When the team doesn't live up to expectations, first heightened by Alfredo Di Stefano, Francisco Gento, and Ferenc Puskás in the 1950s, fans show their disapproval. They wave their white hankies, and often the manager tends not to last long after that. The clock ticks loudly at the Bernabéu. Alonso deserved time, but managers rarely get that at Real. He did superbly in Germany, coaching Bayer Leverkusen to the Bundesliga title and turning prospects like Florian Wirtz into £116 million players, yet he was quickly written off at Real. It shows how brutal the situation is that Alonso is a well-loved former player. He represented Real on 192 occasions. He won the 2014 Champions League, although was suspended for the final against Atletico Madrid. None of this association with the club wins him extra time as coach. It's deliver or depart. Real have had 19 head coaches in the 21st century, including 2 stints apiece from Zinedine Zidane and Carlo Ancelotti. Those 2 hulking figures cast shadows that Alonso struggles to escape. In their most recent spells in charge, Zidane oversaw 114 games and Ancelotti 234. That hints at patience. Between Zidane's 2 stretches, Julian Lopetegui lasted 14 games and Santiago Solari 32. Blink and they were gone. It's a ferociously demanding job. Alonso, a popular player during his time on the field at the Bernabéu, found himself under siege. The fans turned, the media turned, and Madrid pundits and journalists were merciless when they sensed vulnerability. The Spaniard stood up to the heat the best he could, but couldn't keep the flames at bay. There seems no understanding that the squad is imbalanced, that Alonso might not have chosen all the recent signings, and that his options were impeded even further by injuries. Dean Huijsen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Antonio Rüdiger, Dani Carvajal, and Eder Militão, all missing at some point. There was little sympathy. Fans used to higher standards expect better. Everything about Alonso was scrutinized, especially the people skills required to control and inspire such an ego-filled dressing room. Ancelotti achieved it through his quiet authority. A raised eyebrow here, a simple instruction there. Ancelotti's revered reputation as coach and player ensured players responded to him. Having a stellar coach with a humble personality and great wit, players understood better the concept of sacrificing themselves for the cause. Ancelotti is the master at coaxing as much as coaching. Zidane's name contributed greatly to his successful running of the Real dressing room. In the presence,